You must know the how in order to manifest. This isn't me telling you how to manifest. This is me reflecting back to you one of the biggest blocks and mistakes I see people making again and again when they're trying to manifest. And especially when they're going for the big things: money, a job, love relationships, physical appearance changes. And this mistake, it's the very thing blocking your own infinite power. Stay with me in this one because in this video, I'm going to show you why you never, yes, never need to figure out how and how you can catch yourself doing this and what to start doing instead. If you're new here, hello, I am your Muse Traci. On this channel, I help you unlock the power you already have but can't access. I help you break through where years of trying has failed. And the biggest hurdle of all, I help you go from intellectually knowing the law to permanently embodying it. I spent years doing all the right things and getting very little surface level results. But when I finally discovered what was actually creating my reality and why I kept struggling in certain areas, everything changed. Now I help people break the patterns keeping them stuck, and I help them to start manifesting the love, the money, the joy they've always known they were meant for. If you're anything like me, before learning about manifesting, being a master strategist was your superpower. To build a career, you map out the steps. To complete a project, you create a detailed plan. And, you can be rewarded highly for breaking down these big goals into logical, actionable, sequential steps, step-by-step processes. Being an expert at figuring out the how is probably how you got a lot of things done. However, when we start to learn about manifesting, again, if you're anything like me, you accidentally carry that same step by step action oriented approach into your manifesting, right? We try to use force where faith is required. We try to map out every single step, create detailed vision boards and, just try to think about not only what we want, but how it's going to be possible. We start to script our future like it's a screenplay we're writing. But what if I told you that all that effort, all that planning, all that white knuckled trying is the very thing that's blocking you? What if the focus on how it's all going to happen is the ultimate form of resistance? That constant need for a plan, that frantic search for the next logical step, that desperate aching need to know how it's going to work out, that is the frequency of lack. It's an energy rooted in doubt, and it's actually pushing your desires further away. It's born from a habit of control that may have served you in the past, but will sabotage your efforts in manifesting. So, let's take a moment and I want you to imagine something with me. Picture yourself walking into the most ridiculously beautiful, exclusive restaurant you can dream of. We're talking 3 Michelin stars here. The air just hums with quiet confidence. The lighting is perfect. The staff just glide around like they're floating. You're shown to the most gorgeous table and they hand you a menu. It's basically a work of art in and of itself. And it's filled with creations from a world renowned chef, a true master of his craft. You look through the menu and your eyes land on the chef's signature dish. That's it. That's what you're going to order. That's what you want. So the waiter comes back and you say with total confidence, "I'll have the chef's signature dish." You close the menu, hand it back. You've placed your order. And now, what do you do next? Do you spring out of your chair and run into the kitchen and start directing the chef with your professional guidance? Do you grab a pan and shout, "No, no, you have to do it this way"? Do you start questioning their spice choices? "Are you sure about the saffron? I was really feeling more of a turmeric forward vibe." Do you stand over there, shoulder to shoulder and tapping your foot, asking, "Is it done yet? How much longer? Are we positive the oven is preheating?" So you get my point, right? Of course, you don't do that. That would be quite literally insane. And it would be insulting. And even more than that, it would completely take away from the masterful process that's designed to bring you something more magical than you could ever cook up yourself. That's why you went there in the first place. So you don't tell a master chef how to cook. You state your desire, your order, and then you lean back, you trust, you enjoy the atmosphere, you sip your margarita, you chat with your date, you exist in a state of confident expectation, knowing the master is at work and what's coming to you will be absolute perfection, better than you could have imagined. This right here is the most powerful analogy for manifestation that you'll ever need. You are the patron, your desire is the order. The universe, God, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, is the Michelin star chef. Your only job is to get crystal clear on what you want, to decide on your order from the infinite menu of life. Your job is to place that order with faith and with feeling. And then your most important and most often ignored job is to let the chef cook. Every single day, I see brilliant, powerful people getting stuck in the mud, spinning their wheels and burning themselves out. Why? Because they're trying to go and storm the kitchen. They've placed their order for a loving, committed relationship, but then they spend a lot of their mental and emotional energy trying to be the chef. They think about how things could happen. They wonder when. They wonder what else they have to do to make sure their order has been taken or received. They keep clarifying the order and noticing if it has or hasn't shown up, but mostly noticing that it hasn't shown up. They are trying to control every single ingredient, every step of the process. They've placed an order for an extra $10,000, but then they obsess over how could it possibly show up? Maybe if I work more hours, maybe if I start a side hustle that I have zero passion for, maybe I'll win the lottery. They try to map out every single logical path, and in doing so, they choke off the infinite, unexpected, and magical ways the universe could deliver whatever it is that they've placed an order for. Things like a surprise bonus, a forgotten investment, a new client out of the blue, an unexpected check in the mail. This obsession with the how is the number one mistake that keeps you vibrating in lack. Let's break down exactly what's happening and why. What unspoken signals you're actually sending out. First, and this is a big one, it screams to the universe that you don't have it. Your true energy isn't in your words. It's in the feeling under your words. When you're trying to figure out how, the underlying feeling is, I don't have it. I have to figure it out. And I don't trust that it's coming, so I have to figure it out. It's lacking faith and thinking that you need to do something to receive. Think about it. If you truly knew in your bones that you were wealthy, would you be stressing about how to pay next month's rent? No, you wouldn't. You'd be living your life knowing that money flows to you in abundance. The act of trying to control the how is a powerful affirmation of lack. It's like telling the chef, You don't trust them, which just creates tension and resistance and less than, desirable outcomes. Second, it creates so much resistance. Imagine a river flowing to the ocean. It doesn't worry about the rocks or the bends in the path, it just flows. Your desire wants to flow to you just as naturally, but every time you obsess over how, you're throwing giant boulders into that river. You're saying, no, it must come this specific way, through this job, with this person. This attachment to one narrow path blocks the thousands of other pathways the universe has ready for you. Pathways that are often faster, easier, and lead to even better outcomes than you could have imagined. Your need to control creates an energetic traffic jam. Surrender is what clears the path. Third, it completely drains your creative power. Your energy is your most precious resource. It's the fuel. When you spend all that fuel on worrying, strategizing, and forcing, you have nothing left for the only part that actually matters: feeling the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Your work isn't figuring out the plan. The work is to embody the state of the person who already has what you've decided that you want. But you can't feel the joy and peace of having your desire when your mind is a tangled mess of strategic logic. It's like you're driving with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake simultaneously. And finally, it just reinforces your own limiting beliefs. When you feel like you have to do it all yourself, you're operating from a deep-seated belief in separation. You're acting like you're this small, isolated person who has to fight for every scrap. This just strengthens beliefs like, I have to do it all alone, making money is hard, or all the good ones are taken. Letting go of the how is an act of tremendous faith that shifts you into an abundance mindset, where you know you're part of a supportive, intelligent universe that is literally conspiring in your favor. So, what does this mean for you right now? It means that if you feel stuck, exhausted from trying, if you feel like you're doing all the right things, but nothing is happening, it's not your fault. You've just been focusing on the wrong part of the equation. You've been trying to be both the diner and the chef. And if this is resonating, if you're feeling a wave of relief right now, I invite you to go deeper with me. The work I do with my clients shifts them into being an effortless, powerful creator. They learn to resonate with the truth of who they truly are, release resistance caused by limiting beliefs, and trust and surrender in the state of receiving. The outcome is they learn to manifest everything they envision effortlessly. So, if your job isn't to figure out the how, then what is your job? This is the shift. This is the new framework. Your job is to master just two things: the what and the feeling. The universe handles the how and the when. So let's break this down into some practical steps. Step 1, master your what. This is where you place your order. This is about getting clear on your desire. Getting clear doesn't necessarily mean you identify every single minute detail, but you identify the details that are specifically important to you. It's not about writing a 10-page essay on every single minute detail. It's about identifying and claiming the core qualities that are important to you. You don't need to know every single detail to manifest your desires. You don't. But identify the ones you know for sure are important to you and claim them as if you are placing an order with the universe. Step 2. Master your feeling. This is where the real magic happens. Once the order is in, your only job is to lean back and cultivate the feeling of already having it right now, not later, right now. This is what Neville called living in the end. If you had your desires right now, how would you feel? Would you feel relieved, joyful, peaceful, secure? Your work is to generate that feeling in your body right now while there's still zero evidence outside. How? How do you do this? Well, you do this by continuously releasing resistance as it comes up, and it probably will. I want to be real with you guys. Just because you made your decision and placed your order doesn't mean that resistance and doubt doesn't show up. It is very likely to show up. Your job is to release it as it shows up rather than get swept away by it. And then you return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled through your imagination. Your imagination is the engine of creation. Spend a few minutes each day not visualizing the how, but visualizing short scenes that imply the wish is fulfilled. Imagine any short scene that implies your end. The scene should be easy, super easy to imagine, to pull up in your imagination, and should easily evoke a heart-centered, fulfilled sensation when you're visualizing it. I often call this like a touchstone, something you can touch and easily get back into the feeling of. Step 3, master surrender. This is where you're letting the chef cook. Surrender is not passive. It is not giving up. It is an active, conscious state of trust. It's choosing to release your white-knuckled grip every time your mind starts to worry about the how. How will it happen? When is it coming? You have a new job. Your new job is to gently catch yourself and say to yourself, nope, not my department. This was my favorite part. I actually loved when I realized this. It's like such a relief, like, oh, not my job. I don't need that. I don't need to do that, right? So let it be a relief, you guys. Give it up. Give it to someone else. That's the chef's job. And then you consciously redirect your focus back to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Surrender also means trusting regardless of appearances. The universe has a 360-degree view of the entire chessboard of your reality. You can only see one move ahead. The path it has for you might involve a few detours that look like delays, but are actually necessary steps to prepare you or align your circumstances. Your impatience is just another form of doubt. Trust that it's all unfolding perfectly. And okay, what about action? You don't just sit on the couch, but the action you take is different. It's not forced, it's not desperate, it's inspired. As you marinate in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you'll get little nudges. You'll suddenly think to call a friend. You'll feel an urge to go to a specific coffee shop. You'll see an article and feel compelled to click it. This is the universe delivering the next steps. Your job is to act on these light, easy nudges without needing to know exactly where they lead. It feels less like a struggle and more like a dance. Some of my biggest and most unbelievable manifestations have come from absolute surrender and trust and just resting in the knowing that I don't know how. And any effort to try to figure out the how is not only a waste of my precious energy, but is distracting me from the space of the unknown, the space of infinite possibilities. And when I just let myself rest in that place, when I truly let myself not know the how and be truly okay with not knowing how, but still knowing my desire is mine, that's when the magic has happened. The lie is that you need to know the how. The truth is, the how is none of your business. Your obsession with it is born from doubt. If you can just keep reminding yourself this, every time you are focused on the how, there's doubt behind that, right? So your needing to know the how is born from doubt, and it only creates more resistance. Your power isn't in your ability to strategize. That's the old way. It's in your ability to decide and to have full faith and trust and continue to release the resistance again and again and again. Your job is the what. The universe's job is the how. Stop trying to do the universe's job. It's far more creative and powerful than your conscious mind can ever comprehend. So here's your actionable step. I challenge you to try this for the next 7 days. Pick one desire, just one. And for the next 7 days, every single time your mind starts to wonder how, it will come to you. I want you to stop, take a breath, and say out loud, I've placed my order. I don't need to know how. And then immediately let it go and surrender into trust, letting your decision be enough. You will be amazed at the peace and the relief that washes over you when you stop carrying the burden of how. That feeling of relief is the feeling of faith. It's the open door through which your manifestation will arrive. You are a powerful creator. It's time to stop acting like a stressed out, insecure patron at the restaurant and start embodying the energy of a worthy patron who knows their order is on its way and it's going to be better than they could have ever imagined. Let me know in the comments that you're going to practice this for at least 7 days. Let me know what you're going to practice with. Ideally, you don't stop at 7 days, but it's a good start. So let's start there so that you can feel the difference. Thank you all so much for watching this one. Leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.